Hi, this is Jessa Jupiter Flux, and this is What an Excellent Day for a Podcast.
What an excellent day for an podcast.
Good evening, listeners, viewers, and everything in between. About 6 months ago, a call to action was made on the EdFap group chat. Hey, you guys need to watch Murder Size. And within 48 hours, the consensus was we have to get that bratty cover girl on our show. And now our time has come.
Hi.
She's been a 300-year-old witch, a therapist, a mermaid, and even a sage-like mentor for Babezilla. But there's so much more to tonight's guest than just acting. Having the desire and drive to learn all things artistic, she's well on her way to being a Jane of all trades. And we're hoping to just scratch the surface on as many of these ventures as possible. So, dear horror fiends, we are honored to have the multi-talented Jessa Jupiter Flux take some time off from the destined nightlife to hang out on the redneck beach with these pussy men. Jessa, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
As soon as we heard we were getting you, the first thing that came to mind is, what the fuck is going on with OnlyFangs?
What do you mean?
Has it been released yet? Because
No.
Right.
I think it's possible that they're still doing pickup shots.
Okay.
I think, well, first of all, they're actually pretty good at like turning a product out. As far as like their movies go, Paul and Angie are really, really just they're always working. They're always promoting their projects, and they're always working on editing or something or another. So I think what the difference is, especially from Murder Size, is that when we filmed Murder Size, they did it in basically 2 weekends for the most part. There was like a pickup shot that we did in Lake Tahoe. They met me there and filmed me for the movie section. There's like a movie within the movie. They filmed that there. And then I know they did some pickup shots in Vegas as well. But for this movie, it's not all in one location. For those of you that have seen Murder Size, it pretty much takes place at like a studio, like a television studio, where they're making a aerobic like workout tape. Basically, yeah. It's in the 80s. And for this one, there were so many locations and everything that I've personally flown out there twice to film my parts for the OnlyFans. But I know that they really have been, just shooting at different times, different locations, and getting everybody in at certain times and stuff. It's like a lot of work. I mean, I don't make movies for a reason. So
okay.
I think it should. Go ahead.
And I was going to say, because we saw the trailer a while back and we were like so excited, and it was like, all right, haven't heard anything. So yeah, we were just kind of curious, I guess if and when it was coming out.
You should definitely follow Paul and Angie on all their socials, because they do give pretty good updates on things. But okay. I think the original plan was to release it like May, so like now-ish this year. But I personally, if I had to guess, I would guess that it would be out in around the fall time. Because like I said, there's just a lot of irons in that pot, like getting all the pickup shots and getting everybody in order and at the same place at the same time. So, but I think it's mostly done at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a great title. And it's about time somebody capitalized on it, right?
Oh yeah. And actually, Paul wrote the script. I think I read it originally, I want to say in I think he wrote it during the 2020 shutdowns of everything. I think I read it probably in 2022 or something like that. And he asked me to kind of basically pick a character that I was interested in. And, and then it was forever before we got back to it, because, he had to release Murder Size and all of that. So, yeah, he wrote it a while ago, actually. And when we filmed it, it stayed pretty true to the original script, which is usually not the case. Usually if I read a script and then I don't film it for a couple of years or so, like this script goes through all these changes. But it was a good script from the get. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty good. I think that people are going to like it. I think my character is not going to be something that people expect from me, which I'm really excited about.
Awesome. So,
Oh,
so Jessa,
oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna kick it off. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
um, how, I guess, how did you get into acting? Where did it start for you, and go from there?
Okay. So I wanted to be an actor all growing up, but I was very painfully shy. And so I would do like casting calls for talent and everything, and I was just very, really bad at it. I could barely even look at anybody in the like their eyes. I could never make eye contact with people. So that was not really helpful to me starting a career in any sort of performance. But I did do dance my whole life, ballet, tap, jazz, contemporary, modern, all of that. And so I felt very comfortable like expressing emotion and acting through movement,
Okay.
which is that's basically what dance is. And I that was my kind of outlet for performance, growing up. But how I ended up sort of doing like independent horror films is I had a friend. I am a stripper, so I worked at this club in Bloomington, Indiana called Night Moves, and there's a girl there by the name of Alice Winkler who is actually joining me at this location later on today because we're about to do a movie called Fatal Desires together, and I'm really excited about that.
Awesome.
But anyhow, so she was working there and dancing, and she was talking about she just had filmed a movie called Plank Face, and she was talking about a really sensitive, weird to film scene that she had just done. And she was just talking about how she got through it, kind of like what she channeled. And it was just really fascinating to me. And I thought to myself, I wonder if I could do that. Like I wonder if I could speak and memorize lines and perform on command in front of a camera. And I thought to myself at that point, like, if I ever get a chance to do anything, I'm going to see how it goes. You know what I mean? And it ended up to be that there was a movie that she was about to be in called Space Babes from Outer Space. And they just needed a very small part. And they asked me, I told them, the director and the writer of that film, because they were regulars at the strip club that we worked at. I offered my services basically. I was like, if you guys are ever making a movie again, because they had also made Plank Face, I would love to be a part of it. And so if any opportunity comes up, please let me know. And so they had a very small part. I don't think I didn't say anything at all in the part. But I am on the extras of that Blu-ray, which are incredible. It's like choose your own strip club adventure because the
Oh,
movie basically
nice.
takes place in the strip club that we were working at the time, as a matter of
That's
fact.
awesome.
But anyhow, so I got that chance, and then from there, Donald Farmer found me randomly on Facebook and asked me if I wanted to be in Cannibal Hookers, which was a like sort of a reboot. It's not really a continuation of the story, but it's not really a remake either. It's something, a combination of those two things. Cannibal Hookers, I think, was originally made in 1989. And so he had won some awards for that. And so he wanted to remake it. And he asked me if I'd like to be a part of that. And I was like, well, does it pay? And he offered me a pretty good rate. And actually, that's what I based my beginning rate for all movies off of because it was pretty good. And anyhow, so I ended up doing that, and I didn't have many lines in that either. And I think he was also, I found out since then that basically when he works with a new actor, somebody that's totally new to acting at all, he sort of doesn't want to overload them with like a really busy script. So he kind of just says, okay, so you're going to say this now, or you're going to communicate this to this person, however you want, we'll take it as many takes as we want. And that's basically how we went about filming for that. But it was such a weird, awesome, like dopamine high on that set that I was hooked after that. And I didn't know if I would get another opportunity after that to be in any other movies, but I had no idea that Donald Farmer had such a following. And so whenever that movie eventually came out, I think we actually filmed it in 2017 was the first time we filmed for it. And I think it came out in 2020. So I tell people that I started acting in 2020 because that's really when the ball got rolling, because people checked that movie out and they just started asking me to be in their projects. And it really just I've been very lucky. It's gone on from there. I think a lot of people look up to him that are in sort of our scene of the independent horror genre. And it was really very, very lucky that he asked me to be a part of that movie. So that's kind of how it got started. And now it's pretty much my full-time job. I run an OnlyFans and I dance probably, I used to dance more regularly before I got started with acting. And now I dance like once or twice a month. And now I'm just pretty much traveling around and taking acting gigs, and it's been fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
I, I just caught Space Babes from Outer Space the other day. It was wonderful. You closed out the movie.
Yeah, I was the
So
Titty City Welcome Committee.
yeah,
The greatest name of all time.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
really fun.
Nothing wrong with that. So you went from being very shy, and then now, I mean, you're posting, you're out there, you're not shy at all anymore. So it just turned just like that, or you still, sometimes an introvert.
Oh, I'm most definitely still an introvert. I live inside my head at all times. But
Welcome to the club.
I think that what acting is for me and what performing has always been, including in dance and any sort of, I did like show choir growing up, which is kind of embarrassing now. It's very nerdy. But in any performance that I would do, I felt like it was an opportunity to not be that person that's stuck in her head, and I could be someone else for a moment, however long the performance lasted. And it feels very freeing. And I very much love it for that. It's like a way to try on a different type of person's shoes constantly. So I'm like in this movie that I'm about to film this week, Fatal Desires, I'm playing a very manipulative sex therapist. And I always wanted to be a therapist growing up. So this is the second time I've played a therapist in a movie. And so I almost got my degree in psychology. I quit around 2020 because it was a great opportunity to stop going and not have a lot of people question me. So I was like, I was a second semester junior, so I was almost finished. And so whenever I do these types of parts, I can draw from that experience of learning psychology and just being obsessed with it. I've always really enjoyed the way that people think and like how they arrive to be the type of person that they are, how childhood and all these factors contribute to that. It's really fun to be able to finally be a therapist. Like, I didn't have to get that master's after all, like it's pretty great. And
Saved a few bucks.
yeah, saved some money, made some money, but yeah, I mean, I just love the idea of just being different people constantly, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you change your personality all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a therapist would like to sit down with me, but that's kind of always been my thing with, Halloween and cosplaying and stuff. It's I get a few hours to not be me.
Exactly. So you understand, yeah.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
I'm totally still shy. Like the promotions and stuff that I'm always posting about anything that I'm doing, any event or movie or anything that I'm doing, that is a learned skill to be able to constantly be able to promote yourself. And it's a skill that it's not easy to really develop. And so I noticed there's a lot of people that I work with and people that are in Hollywood level acting and performing that they're not very good at it. And, I could teach a class on how to self-promote, honestly, at this point. But it's like, it's either you can do it or you can't. It really has nothing to do with like how outgoing you are. It really just depends on learning algorithms and figuring out how often you should post about something, how many things you should mention in one post, and all of that. Like it all is very sciencey and weird. And I do a lot of research on it. As a matter of fact, I'm constantly learning how the new algorithm for Instagram works or whatever it happens to be. And I think that is, there's a lot of very talented people out there that they just can't put themselves out there, if that makes any sense. And I think it's really sad. And, if I could teach a class, if I had time for that, I would totally help them out. But you really, as a performer of any type, you really have to have you have to be able to wear several hats, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. So, and that's awesome that you're keeping that busy and you get to, obviously you're getting paid to travel the country, which I know has always been a dream of mine. Like everyone asks, like, what's your lottery dream? For me, it's to hop in a car, road trip the entire country, and you get paid to do that. So
I do.
Awesome.
And most of the time I get flown out, so I don't even have to drive. It's pretty great.
So,
yeah, I remember hearing on a previous interview that you control all your social medias. Is that still the case?
It is. I've had plenty of companies reach out to me and offer their services as far as that goes. But I am such a control freak. There's no freaking way. There's no way I would let anybody else control any of that. I mean, I'm posting multiple. I do have an app that tells me what to post on what day.
Okay.
It's called Finch, and it's the weirdest thing. I got an advertisement for it on Instagram like last year, and I've been using it for every single day for about over half a year now. And it's basically like a. Do you know what a gigapet is?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
so you take care of this Tamagotchi by checking things off of your to-do list. It really works for me. And so I basically say like how many times like a week I want to promote something, and I put that on the list. And whenever I check it off, like my Gigapet or Tamagotchi or whatever gets fed. It's like you keep it alive by actually doing what you're supposed to do. It's really helpful to me. They should
Makes us
definitely
money
hire me to be
too.
their spokesperson.
Yeah, I think that's what I need. I am the worst on social media. Luckily, these guys are constantly putting shit up. So yeah, I might have to look into that, pick that up.
Do you even
Yeah, and I
sleep
actually
when it comes to that?
a
When you
couple
post
of
on socials, the only reason why I say that, I mean, you keep on going. Like you are like
yeah,
nonstop. And I'm like, wow, she is everywhere all the time. When I wake up, when I go for lunch, I look at my phone, there's the first post. It's
yeah.
Jessa. So
We're not stalking you. You're just always
I
there.
mean,
It's not a
yes,
bad thing.
yes,
It's not a bad
we
thing.
are not
My
that.
like personal friends actually usually unfollow me because they're like, that's too much of you. Like it's weird to see you constantly in my feed, which I totally understand. But even before, like I take a lot of odd jobs. I still do. I mean, obviously I'm still dancing, like I said, at the clubs once or twice a month, and I have OnlyFans, and I take, like I said, just I do makeup and hair. I'm a licensed hair and makeup artist, so I do that for events. I also do that for movies, projects like commercials, all kinds of stuff like that. But for a while there, I was doing social media promotion for different bars in the area that I live in. And I learned a lot from and running those accounts for other people, because you can really kind of try things without a lot of fear whenever it's not you. I
Oh
guess
yeah.
that's bad, but like I never like ran anybody into the ground or anything. As a matter of fact, I built up a lot of businesses, and I'm really proud of that work. And it really helped me to learn how to promote myself as well.
That's awesome.
That's it. Let the other guys play guinea pig, and then once you get that system down, then it's like, all right, now time to do my own shit.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah, as soon as we heard we were getting you on, of course I had to watch, because I realized, oh my God, I only watched Murder Size. So I had to find out what else was available of yours to watch. And the first one I got to come up was Debbie Does Demons,
Yes.
which
It's very popular.
yeah, that was yeah, that was a good time.
Yes, and it's coming officially to streaming. I think on May 5th is what I saw. It was just announced like 2 days ago.
Okay.
But there was a like a YouTube channel, Red Letter Media, that covered Donald Farmer's work at like I think it was in September of last year. And they kind of like went over Debbie Does Demons, and it really promoted it. Like I guess they have like a lot of followers. I follow them now, obviously, but I wasn't
Yeah,
like
I've been following them for a couple years, and yeah, those guys, they're funny, but they actually know movies.
they really do. And I really appreciated everything that they said about me. And oh, man, I made a lot of money on my OnlyFans that month and the month after that they released that video. So thank you, Red Letter Media. Appreciate you. But for sure, they definitely, you can tell, are very much into film, and they're very much into all kinds of film.
Yes.
Like they were, Donald was on the best of the worst. And at first, I think he was a little heartbroken. He was hurt by it. And he was like, they're snobs. And I'm like, no, Donald, if they didn't like you, they wouldn't have spent all that time watching all those movies and reviewing. They like you. It's like they're not trying to insult you. Like this is a good thing. Like this is very good. And he eventually kind of like, figured it out, and he understands it more, and he's very thankful as well for them. But yeah, I think that they're really cool, nerdy, movie guys that just like want to watch stuff and, talk shit about it. I mean, you and we all do that, right? Like we just, they do it on the internet like all the time.
Wait, people talk shit on the internet? When did that happen?
I mean,
But yeah, so the which character you played in that? Like I'm trying to find the words, but yeah, like how did you put yourself in that place? to be that level of evil?
Well, I really wanted to use it as an opportunity to sort of try taking on another accent. As a matter of fact, I was like, I kind of want to sound old timey without sounding like too English or
Yeah.
anything specific. But I wanted to I rewrote my lines to kind of have that vibe. I don't know how to explain it, but that was my first time kind of trying on like a completely different accent and way of like presenting myself. And even though it's definitely overacting, it was super fun and I learned a lot from doing it. And I looked really hot in that movie. Like I just recently watched it again with a college had me out, and I watched that movie with them and I answered their questions afterwards. And I hadn't seen it in a while, and I was like, God damn! Like I was like smoking hot in that movie. Like I'm very proud of that as well as the acting. So it's pretty funny too. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah. What was it like doing the whole watch along with the college?
Really one of the most joyful moments I've had in like the last, several years. Like, I mean, it's really weird that people know me now. Like I'm reaching some level of like micro fame, you know what I mean? Like, so,
You have
like
a
the
cult
fact,
following.
yeah, like the fact that they even reached out and asked me to come to their college, watch this movie with them, and they gave me the opportunity to sell films as well. And I'm so not only did they pay me to come there, but they allowed me to make money while I was there. It was fantastic. And the people that I was watching the movie with were all so very respectful, but also we were all joking together about the content on the screen, And it was just like I was so grateful for them, and I think that they were so grateful for me, and it was just a awesome exchange of energy. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'd love to do more of that.
That's awesome.
And I guess speaking of accents, same thing with Deadly Dealings. Like, so the whole Southern thing, was that something you brought to the character, or was that kind of how she was written?
I don't remember how it started as far as the Southern accent, but so the director and the writer of that film is Adam Freeman, and he was a friend of mine that I had worked with on Cannibal Hookers, and he had since then got me a few other gigs of things that he was already a part of, and they needed like quick fill-ins for somebody that dropped out. They needed somebody to cover for them, and so he had seen my work on a couple different projects at that point, and he reached out to me, and I remember us talking that he was like, imagine if Dolly Parton mixed with Anna Nicole Smith was a trauma therapist, and she's very well educated, but she's also very down home Southern. And he's very Southern. He's got like the countryest accent in the world. Like, I mean, he opens his mouth and cornbread like falls out. He's amazing. But yeah, we started talking about it, and as far as like any directors that I've worked with, usually it's me that gets really ate up with the character and wants to like come up with all these different things that affect the character. I mean, I guess that comes from like me studying psychology, but I write fan fiction basically for all of my characters, and it's really
Okay.
very fun. But he's the one who was just like, will you please watch this music video? This is the kind of um, a woman that I want you to embody for this character. And he was very hands-on with helping me develop that character. And I think that together we came up with something really awesome. And that's honestly, whenever people ask me my favorite movie that I've done or what I'm most proud of, I always say Deadly Dealings. I think
Okay.
that, I mean, I wish it was more available on streaming and whatnot, but I can buy copies from him and sell them at like conventions whenever I do them. But it's a beautiful movie. Like, have you seen it? Like, it's like stunning. Like it's neon. There's like glitter on everything. Like it's very colorful. And he came up with that palette all on his own. And he, approached the Roman, who's the one who shot it and also edited it for him. And he, they worked together to create this beautiful masterpiece. And it does have some like storyline, I guess, flaws that some people, I try not to watch any reviews, honestly, because I don't like my feelings to get hurt. But I had read some things that said that there was like some flaws in the storyline. I was like, I guess I can see that. But what an amazing product to give to the world as your first film. Like, I'm very proud of it. Like, I love it. And yeah, no, so like whenever I was kind of developing this Southern accent for Dr. Leanna Hart for that movie, I realized as I was like practicing that there is a huge difference between uh poor Southern, which is something I'm very familiar with. Like I grew up, I'm on the like Indiana Kentucky border, so I'm kind of like used to like the Kentuckian like she grew up in the backwoods type character. I was really comfortable with that accent, but there's a totally different Southern accent for very well educated people, which a therapist would be, right? So I had to like really learn about like the Southern Belle mentality and coming from an affluent background, and it was really interesting, and I'm very proud of like the research that I did to come up with that accent.
Did you watch a lot of Paula Deen?
I didn't, but like I wish that you were around and would have suggested that, because that would have definitely probably been somebody that I pulled from as far
Yeah,
as
because
that goes.
closing my eyes, I could almost picture her,
That's
like
so funny.
the way you pulled that off. But yes, great job.
Thank you.
I would have believed that was your natural accent. That's why I had to ask about it.
Oh wow, thank
If
you.
that was
I
something
mean,
you
some
came
of
up
it
with, or
is.
what's that?
Some of it is like I'm not drinking right now, but in general I am a drinker. And you get like two beers in me, and like I said, the cornbread falls out of Adam Freeman's mouth. It also falls out of mine. So I get very like Southern whenever I'm a little lit, a little bit lit. So it's yeah, I had like a basis of understanding that accent, but like I really had to expand on that to understand like an affluent, well-educated woman that was also very like Southern.
Do you like when you go and travel like to the South, like if you're in Florida or whatever, do you like go out there and use your accent and when you try and like
Yeah.
test it out to see if it works, if it's good, if
Or maybe
you know,
absorb the locals?
yeah.
I have done that actually, just to see how it would go. But I've always been that kind of person that like I would go to a bar and just like start speaking with a Russian accent or something and give a totally different name. Maybe that says, I don't know if that speaks to my mental whatever, like mental problems. But it's really fun for me to, yeah, like you said, like try on accent and see if anybody picks up on it.
Mhm.
Like the world is our oyster, so why not do whatever the
Why
hell we
not,
want as
right?
far as that goes. But yes, so yeah, I've kind of done that. I'm in Florida right now, as a matter of fact.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
But yeah, I noticed you tend to put up a decent amount of posts for like trauma events and movies and things like that. Have you done a trauma film, or are you just friends with Lloyd, or
Both. I'm friends with
oh, okay.
Lloyd, and also, so I started my journey with trauma by being like one of their booth babes. The super
Okay.
traumates that go around and they appear with Lloyd and they take pictures with him when
Mhm.
his fans come by the booth. And I started doing that. In Lexington, Kentucky. It was at Scarefest, and I had such a great time with it. My feet hurt so bad. I'd never worked so hard in my life, to be honest. But getting in good with them as a company has been so helpful to me. I've done two trauma movies now.
Okay.
Okay, so there's different ways to be a trauma movie. There's three ways that I know of. And I'm sure that somebody would correct me and be like, there's this other way, but this is kind of how it goes. There's a Lloyd movie, a Lloyd directed movie,
Mhm.
and that is to me the official trauma movie. There's
Yes.
also people that work for trauma to create movies for them. And I did one of those. It's Curse of the Werewolf. I had a very small part, but as soon as I heard it was like an official trauma movie, like trauma, like approved it, backed it, and the director Ben is freaking amazing. I was like, yes, like let me have a piece of that. And then there's also the movies that they acquire. So there's movies that other filmmakers make, and then they sell their product to Trauma. And that's basically like that's the three ways to make a movie with Trauma. I
Yeah.
had just actually last summer did an official Lloyd Kaufman directed movie, and it's called The Power of Positive Murder, and we filmed it in upstate New York, and it was a insane, beautiful, and haunting experience. I actually just watched a YouTube video about the mansion that we filmed at. It's haunted. It's called Burnbrae Mansion, and it was pretty scary. There's a lot of other things going on that kind of took away from like the ghosts in the house, but it was an amazing experience, and I cannot wait until it comes out. I think people are going to really, really like it. And I got to also use an accent, and that I can do a transatlantic accent because I'm obsessed with like movies from the 40s, 50s, and the 60s, and I always have been. So that was something they told me that they wanted a femme fatale character to be played in this movie. And whenever first they wanted me actually to audition for, there's a cam girl part. And I was trying to, at the time, get away from playing sex workers. I've kind of like, I just saw a Nora last night. So yes, I will play a sex worker if you want me to now. But at the
Especially if it
time,
gets you into the academy.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you want me to play a stripper? Say less. But
We
at
all
the
have a
time,
price.
I was trying to get away from it because I felt like people were sort of typecasting me into those parts because it's something I do, for a living. I dance in clubs and I run an OnlyFans account and I make adult content. But also, I think it's just like, well, she's comfortable with her body, so she has no problem being topless for the scene that a sex worker, is.
Mhm.
Performing or whatever. So I just try to get away from that. And they asked me to be this cam girl character. And I read it and it's a really great part. And my friend Niv Arania ended up playing that part, and she did a hell of a job, as a matter of fact. But I saw this other character, Lucy, who is the mother. She is the child. Her mother is Scarlett, who's played with Debbie by Debbie Rashawn. I'm sure you know who that is. And I was like, the opportunity to even work with Debbie was fucking amazing. Like it just blew my mind. Like, and then you want me to play her daughter? I was like, okay, yeah, I want that part. So I basically I bullied them into letting me audition for that part, and I don't think they expected me to come with like that transatlantic accent, and I think that's really what got me the part, to be honest. I mean, like I said, I've watched those movies from the 40s, 50s, and 60s since I was a kid. Like I love that shit, and so I really embodied that character, and I had no idea at the time that they were trying to make a film noir. Like the whole movie is film noir. It's shot in black and white. It's fucking stunning. And I can't, like I said, I can't wait for it to come out. But yeah, so I just did like an actual for real deal Lloyd directed Trauma movie, and it should be out, I hope, in the next couple of years. But the way that Trauma goes is that well, they did, what was it, Shakespeare Shitstorm, they filmed that quite a while ago, and it just now came out on Trauma Now. There's still not even like any physical copies of it, so I have no idea how long this movie is going to take to come out, because they're very like, they have a very methodical plan that they kind of stick to as far as like releasing their films, because they like to like put them in film festivals. They like to do actual like theater premieres, and they just have a way of doing things. It usually takes a long time, but I think once it does come out, I'm going to be super, super proud of it. And I think people are going to really remember it. And it may be Lloyd's last film. He's saying it's his last film and he doesn't want to do anymore. So to be a part of that is like history. I mean, I saw trauma movies. I dated a guy in high school that just randomly got really ate up with trauma movies, and he was like, I want to be a filmmaker. And I was like, okay, man, whatever. And so he started showing me trauma movies. And the one thing that I noticed first, and I don't know like if this is weird or very like super like feministy of me, but I thought the women that they used in the movies, the Tromettes, as I came to find that they were called, they had all different body types. They were all different sorts of women. They were punk rock. They were very like beautiful. They were like very girly, or they were very boyish. I mean, they had like all different kinds of women. And I thought it was very like radically accepting of different types of people, like in Hollywood there, especially in the like mid 2000s, it was like people were saying that Britney Spears was fat, you know what I mean? Like what? Like they were like very hard on women as far as like their body types and their look goes. I think it's starting to ease up a bit. But Trauma always was very accepting of different types of body types and looks on their performers. So I thought to myself, like, I would love to have a walk-on role one day in a Trauma movie. And that was like kind of what started like the spark of me wanting to do independent cinema. And then hell if I mean, it just blows my mind. Like I actually was like a lead in a Trauma movie directed by Lloyd. Like if I could go back and tell my 16-year-old self, like, hey, you're going to get to do this one day, like I'd probably just melt into a puddle. Like, I don't know. Like, it's very awesome.
Yeah, and it
so
seems
cool.
like even like how many, what's it, 50, 40, 50 years he's been doing this, and it seems
Yeah.
like he's still having a great time doing it.
He really does. Yeah. He loves film. He also loves classic film, I found out. So I think that he really jumped at the fact that jumped at the opportunity to make a film noir.
Mhm.
And that's what he watches in his spare time. Like he doesn't really watch a lot of modern movies, I don't think. And he's a really interesting person. He's a very good and generous person as well. And he's very intelligent. And just to have a conversation with him, Lloyd puts on a show. So at a convention, he's like very Lloydy, I'm Uncle Lloydy or whatever. But like to really get to know him and have that opportunity has been really fantastic. And he has not disappointed like at all.
Now we're pretty familiar with the Trauma team. We go to Monster Mania. We're familiar. We go there 2, 3 times a year, and you will always see the Trauma team there. And that's one of the things I look forward to is actually meeting everybody who's dressed up, who's in
Yeah.
character, having fun. I met Lloyd like 2 years ago. He gave me shit for wearing a Terrifier shirt. So
He always does that to everybody.
yeah,
Like
And
anytime
see, to this day, we're still not
I don't
sure
know if he's
because
fucking with me or anything.
yeah, we know that he's very sarcastic. He has a very Lloyd sense of humor, but
yes.
the way I wasn't there for it, Danny told us the story, but the way he was ripping into Terrifier and like, oh, that's just disgusting, gratuitous blood. It's like there's no way he's serious about it. But from what I heard, the way he said it, he sounded generally pissed
Yeah.
that Terrifier's a thing. And it's like, have you
I don't think
seen
he's
one of
pissed
your
Terrifier's a thing, but I do think that he has, if I may, I can't speak on behalf of Lloyd, but I
Yeah,
do think
obvious.
that he has very strong opinions about
Okay.
Terrifier, and they're interesting. You should ask
Okay.
him about it next time you see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had to get a Toxic Avenger action figure that stays in the studio at all times because of that interaction with Lloyd. He's an icon in the industry,
For
and
sure.
for an opportunity to meet him, it was amazing for me to just talk with him for a few minutes, even though he was breaking my balls about my Terrifier shirt. But
Yeah,
hey, that means nothing. He's an icon. He'll always be remembered. He's very beloved in the community. So
absolutely.
that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the fact that he felt comfortable though kind of fucking with you is like that's a compliment, like that he wanted to have that interaction with you, because a lot of times he has to run through interactions because his line stays crazy long.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like whenever I do the booth babe thing for Trauma, I'm really working my ass off whenever I have to do that, and it's not I have to at all, so I misspoke that, but it's very awesome for me to be able to have that opportunity to work with him. And also like people that come to the booth to just talk movies with Lloyd, I get a lot of opportunities just from those interactions. They're saying they're making a movie, they need this person, they need that person. I get a lot of roles just from doing those booth babe appearances. But yeah, are you guys excited about the new Toxie at all?
I missed the first run of it, but I do like the idea that they're putting it back out, like the original cut of it. So I am interested in seeing that.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Melvin, aren't you?
The one with Peter Dinklage, or is
Okay.
there is Lloyd doing like another sequel?
Okay, so I'm talking about two different things here, but I
Okay.
was asking if you were excited about the one with Peter Dinklage because I think he's amazing. I thought he was super cool in the what's that show? I'm having like a
Game of
brain.
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yes, he
Yeah.
was so good. I fell in love with his character in that, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it at all, but I'm really excited about it. I think it's really cool that they allowed somebody to remake it because it's not a Trauma film technically. It's like
Okay.
they sold the rights to the first film basically so that they could so that it could have like a Hollywood release and be remade on a huge level. But I'm really excited about it. It's finally going to be in theaters this year, and I'm just super fucking hyped to see it. But also, Mr. Melvin, I don't know if you heard about this, but two people at Trauma, Adam, who's actually the star of The Power of Positive Murder, that movie I just did with Lloyd, and
Okay.
then Andrew Miller, who is Lloyd's assistant, they're editing the Toxic Avenger 2 and 3, because it was actually supposed to be released as one film, but they released it as two films. So they're putting it back together according to what the script would have wanted it to be. And they're having a premiere for it at Tromathon in July, I think. And they're
in
very, very
Pennsylvania.
excited about this. They're
Yeah,
super
I'm
excited.
seeing this right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're
It's
calling
like,
it Mr. Melvin.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a sequel reconstruction called Mr. Melvin, and it's going to debut at the Tromathon in Pennsylvania this summer.
Oh,
I'll be
all right.
there.
So I do, as soon as you said it, I do remember hearing somewhere a reference to Mr. Melvin.
Yeah, they
But
just
yeah, I didn't
released
know what it
two
was.
articles about it, like in this
Okay.
last week. So it's just now coming out. Information. Yeah.
And yeah, well, I mean, we talk about whatever. Obviously, we focus on horror, but we geek out about a lot of other things. I think I heard you're a Twin Peaks fan.
It's so much so that it's like embarrassing. Yes,
No, no,
I'm a
you're
huge
like
Twin Peaks
the
fan.
third person I know on the entire planet that will admit to, liking and or loving that series.
I love it.
And, but most people I bring it up and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, David Lynch came out in the 90s and then there was a movie and then they put out another thing and like like I said, it seems like nobody and when they do it, it's like, "Oh, Lynch, he's that weird guy, right?" I'm like, "Fucking watch Twin Peaks. It's amazing."
Anybody that says, "Oh, who's David Lynch, that weird guy," needs to get the hell out of my house. Like, what are you saying? Like right now, he was an artist. He was truly like the art kid that goes to art school that made it. Like I've been to art school. I went to school for dance, and those people are so delusional. Like, and I mean that in the best way possible. I say that with love, but they go through this school thinking that they're going to be these, superstar art stars or whatever, and nobody ends up doing what they set out to do. But David fucking did. Like, it's pretty amazing. Like, I'm reading his memoir right now, and I started reading it before he passed away, so it was kind of hard getting back to it after his passing because that really, really shook me up. But it's astounding what the things that he's accomplished in his life, and he's just an incredible creator, like seriously. But Twin Peaks was like something that he made for the masses, which is, very unlike him. So, having it be really successful, I think it came out in 90 or 91.
Yeah.
Obviously I wasn't watching it in 90 or 91. I was born in 94, but I watched it originally on YouTube whenever I was going through a breakup. So I don't know if I like trauma bonded with Twin Peaks or something. But it was,
That'll do it.
yeah, I mean, I bought a dog and I watched Twin Peaks, like going through a breakup, and I really fell in love with
And
the
listening to
world
Ace of
of it. Like it's a fantastic world that he created for this
Yes.
this series. And then Fire Walk with Me is completely a different animal, but totally awesome. I mean, it starts with the end. I love it when films do that. And not to ruin it for anybody, watch Fire Walk with Me if you haven't. But that is a fantastic movie. Ray Wise is such a fucking amazing actor. Like,
Yes.
super inspiring, and he can be funny. Like, he can do anything. I think he's super cool. And then, The Return that came out, I think it was in 2016 or 2017 is when The Return
17, yeah.
17 came about. That is a completely different animal in itself. It's a beautiful work of art. It's stunning. It's, it's shot in such an interesting way because they had a lot of money to, dedicate to this project. And they skimped on the weirdest things it was like choices that he made to skimp on certain things, but then to go all in on other things. I just don't want to ruin it for anybody because I love it that much, but it's all so fucking fantastic. Like, the whole thing is great. And I'm so happy that Twin Peaks is a part of my life. But yeah, I think it's the whole story about Laura Palmer and the idea that she was this straight A student that worked for Meals on Wheels, volunteered for Meals on Wheels, who was also a prostitute and stripper on the weekends, had a secret coke habit. How many boyfriends did she have? I mean, she was like she was such a interesting person. And I feel like what touched me in seeing her journey through Twin Peaks is that, like, I've lived that life. Like, I've had a life where I've had all these different disconnected aspects of my life that nobody would have any idea about. You know what I mean? And to see that played out on screen, and so beautifully so, is just, it's super inspiring. And it gave me a lot of hope and peace within myself and in my journey. and not to get super deep about it or anything, but
Oh, please no, please no.
I really identified with her character the first time I saw it. And now every time I rewatch Twin Peaks, I identify differently with a totally different character. So it's like something that like every time you watch it, you'll see something different. And I love that about it.
Yeah, see, that's my problem. I always fell somewhere between like Wyndham Earl and the Log Lady. So,
I love the log lady. I love her.
oh, I would have loved for her to have adopted me.
You know, there's a documentary that just came out that's about the log lady and the
Yes.
actress that played her. Like it's, I've been following its release. They just did a Hollywood premiere uh, just recently. That what's his name? I can't. I'm so bad at. This is why I said when you do the rapid fire questions, I may fail. But the main guy, Kyle
Kyle?
McLaughlin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh
Kyle.
McLaughlin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just posted something about going to the premiere for it, but she was she was such a beautiful character in the show, and then as she was literally dying when she did the return, and like it's giving me chills just thinking about it because she basically said goodbye to the world in her character in the
Yes.
return. Like it was so fucking stunning. Like it was a beautiful contribution to the world and art that she made, and I cannot wait to see that documentary. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, I did hear that it exists. I haven't gotten any details on it.
I can't
But
wait.
but yeah, that was because she passed just before it came out, right? It was like
Yes.
right after they got done shooting.
Yes, and she was I think is struggling with cancer when she
Mhm.
was filming her scenes, and so it was she was on her last leg as far as living goes when she was filming that, and the fact that she was like, I'm still gonna do this, I'm still gonna like work with these people again, and the just her dialogue in the return, and just I mean you just have to see it, but she really just she gave this beautiful goodbye to the world
Yeah,
in the series, and it was just what a cool woman, like
yeah,
what a cool character, what a cool actress, what a cool woman.
yeah. Just that whole muscling through and then goodbye, Hawk, and it was like, oh Jesus.
Yes.
Sorry guys, but I don't think you're gonna watch it.
Wow. Well, Dave's been breaking my balls for like at least a year and a half about I haven't watched it yet. And I'm about to. Like it's been on my like ready to watch list. So I can't wait to check it out. So
After
Just
every
remember, it's not about the
episode,
bunnies.
please like I still call it Twitter, tweet me what your thoughts are after every episode. I would love that. I would love to
yeah.
like have like a discourse on that. Like
All right.
I love discussing Twin Peaks. I love that. Whenever people like reach out to me, they're like, "Oh, I know you're a Twin Peaks fan. Can we talk about this?" I'm like, "Yeah, we sure can. Like, I will take time for that. Absolutely." So please let me know all of your thoughts on it.
We'll do.
And actually, probably because I was when I heard that, of course, I was thinking about the show again. Of course, Big Brother's reading our thoughts. So immediately in my YouTube feed, a Red Letter Media video came up of them talking about the movie. And I was like,
Um,
oh, I never heard their take on that.
I didn't
So
know they made an episode on that.
yeah, it's two of the guys on there apparently like really big fans of it. And I know they did for The Return. They did a two-part episode on The Return, which I haven't heard yet. And then they also did one for Fire Walk with Me.
Ooh, I'm gonna have
And
to look that
again,
up.
I just enjoy everything they do, whether I agree with their take or not.
Yeah.
But in when they were talking about the movie, I believe they said May 1st was the release date. So yeah, if you're not doing anything, maybe on the first we can do our own episode on the show because nobody wants to talk about it because no most people I know haven't even heard of it.
That's crazy to me. That's like what? Like that's so
Yeah.
nuts to me. But
At the very least, people should at least know who killed Laura Palmer. Like if you haven't heard that phrase, you
yeah.
you really have been living in a bubble your whole life.
Well, it was like, as far as like the research, after I watched it, I was like I said, obsessed with it immediately. And so I started doing all this weird research on it, just looking up like, how did this go? I mean, there's only 2 seasons. Why did it get canceled? Like, I was so interested in the making of it and like how it came to be only 2 seasons. It was really one of the first like super like popular shows in I guess modern times. Of course, like I Love Lucy and stuff was like groundbreaking when that was on TV
Yeah.
in the 50s, but like this was like the first time like people actually made time. They're like, oh, I can't do anything that night, like Twin Peaks is coming on. Like people were obsessed with it.
Yeah, it's and yeah, I'm part of that crew. like any information. Actually, I'll have to look it up, but there was a video I saw a couple years ago, and now it's a minimum of like an annual watch. This guy did a 4.5 hour video of his,
Explaining Twin Peaks.
yes.
Yeah, I've never made it through the whole thing, but
Oh, it just keeps paying off.
is it good?
Yeah, it's right when you think, okay, well, this is as far as he's going to take it. Now he's going to beat it into the ground. He always throws out little tidbits and all. It's, like I said, a minimum of once a year listen. It's,
Okay.
it's,
I
and
see.
he
Like,
actually
okay, so
did two other videos, but
I've listened to parts of it, and I've known people that have watched the 4.5. That's so fucking long. Like, I have ADHD, dog. Like, I can't. I don't know. But if you're saying it's good, I'm gonna trust you, and I'm gonna actually like hear it out.
to be fair, I haven't watched the video. I'll just throw in my earbuds and I'll listen to it while at work. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah.
Cool.
In my mind, and even he flat out says, I'm not telling you this is what Lynch intended. This is my take on what it was. Nope. In my head, what he said is exactly what Lynch intended to do. It just, I don't know, it made a lot of sense to me.
Oh, for sure.
And even like at hour 3 of it, it's just like, okay, now I get it. Now I know where he's going with this. But then he'll throw in little other tidbits and all like that. He's adding just enough information for the whole duration that it's, but I'm a weirdo, so,
So am
but I
I.
think it's worth the whole thing.
Awesome. Yeah, I will definitely have to check it out then finally. I mean, I think that, like I said, I love to discuss Twin Peaks because there is so many storylines going on. There's so many archetypes and like that are represented in the characters, and there's so much freaking symbolism, which David Lynch always really, drew from. But like there's a whole like I don't know, there's like I said, there's a whole world and there's a whole mythology behind Twin Peaks that I find really fascinating.
And I'll just make one more point and then, yeah, we'll move on. I don't want to hog up the whole thing, but as you were saying, the return being a completely different beast. And then there's episode 8.
Episode 8. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I remember watching that and just being like, this is cinema. Like it's beautiful. It's confusing. It's beautiful. It's haunting. Episode 8, dude.
It's the most abstract yet most spoon-fed episode
Yeah.
ever. And yeah, if nothing else. Actually, I think one of the Red Letter guys said that episode is his favorite movie of like
That's
all
awesome.
time. So, all right, I'm gonna shut up now, guys.
Wait. We don't want to go into a Twin Peaks rant, No, I can't wait to check it out.
No, I'll go on for 6 more
No,
hours
I'm
about
sold.
this.
Just this conversation.
This is our show, not my show.
Just this conversation. I need
heard
to
that,
go
I
watch
had to
Twin
ask.
Peaks now. So I
Yes,
think I'm
please
sold.
watch it and get with me. Get with me. Let's discuss.
All right.
So you mentioned Scarefest a little while ago. How much have you actually dabbled into the convention scene?
I have dabbled. I think I did my first convention as as an actress. I think it was in 2022. And that was Horror Hound in was it Horror Hound? No, it wasn't Horror Hound. It was the other one. There's so many. I
Yes.
will say that like okay, so I wanted to do conventions because it is just a super cool community. Like the people that do go to conventions and participate in conventions, the people that vend at conventions are just a really super awesome, nice, accepting, loving family type of a group. And I knew that and I wanted to be a part of it. But as far as like doing conventions, there's so many like I'm like very successful at conventions, not to like pat my own back, but I am a stripper, so I'm very good at like calling someone over and making a sale. Like I'm very good at that, whether they know who I am or not. Now that like I got so much traction that people are coming up to me and super excited to meet me, they get like nervous and sweaty when they're talking to me. That is like the biggest compliment in the world, but it's also a super cool opportunity to make new fans. So a lot of times, every time I do conventions, like I meet so many new people that follow me just from that one interaction that we have at the convention. So conventions are fucking amazing. I love my favorite one. Have you ever been to Cinema Wasteland?
No, I've heard of them. Most of the ones we've been to are usually like PA, Jersey, New York area.
Right.
So,
I've never been to New Jersey actually.
well, get out here. We got like three or
Yes.
four of them.
Well, you can come and do the show live with us next time you're here, close to Atlantic City. I mean, we're not that far.
Cool. Yeah, I there are some conventions in New Jersey that I definitely want to hit up in the future.
So, what's the farthest like out east you've gone for convention?
Um, Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh, that's you said east. I'm a dingbat sometimes. I thought you said
Whoa.
the farthest I'd gone. As far as conventions out east, I'm not really sure how far I've gone that way.
Are you going to the Traumathon?
Oh, I'm going to Tromathon. Yeah, I'm really
Okay.
excited about that. It's my first time, and it's actually my first time being at a like a drive-in theater at all. I've never been to one in my life.
Yeah, I haven't in well before you were born was the last time I had one available. So,
But yeah, that's super cool. What conventions do you like?
So we go to in the area. We're South Jersey.
Oh,
So Monster Mania is usually we go there 3 times a year, and we have New Jersey Horror Convention. Uh, Usually it's up in North Jersey, or actually in a couple weeks it's going to be Atlantic City at the Showboat.
uh-huh.
And we've dabbled in Oaks, PA, where they've had other conventions, Allentown, so New York, Syracuse, Connecticut. We just whatever we can get our hands on in regards to meeting people, interacting, promoting the podcast. We just it's very cool. It's a very cool interaction because when you go to a horror convention, those are our people.
Yeah, I totally
And
agree with you. Yeah.
we're all, us, the four of us for the show, we're horror nerds. So just to kind of go and interact and have normal conversations, and they're not even normal conversations,
normal
right?
conversation.
Normal. Um, that's our gig. Anytime we can get our hands on it, we can make a road trip out of it. We do it. We're actually going to Blairstown, New Jersey on Friday, this Friday the 13th. So
Wow.
Blairstown, New Jersey is where they filmed the first Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, cool.
So all the fans connect and they go to Blairstown and they all hang out there. So we have actors, producers, and stuff that are going to be interacting there in Blairstown in the main street. And there's probably going to be a few thousand people there. And that's where we get the most enjoyment is just hanging out with people and shooting the shit and let them nerd out. And they, maybe they feel awkward about talking about stuff, but we just sit there and listen and just make fans with people and just interact and talk about horror shit and or just general shit and whatever's going on. But we just know that we can let loose, have a good time, and just interact with horror fans, and that's what we love the most.
Yeah, no, I love the conversations that I have at horror conventions. Some of the most interesting people come up to me and just start the most random conversation, but I get like high off of it. Like I think it's just like so interesting what people it's like people need people, right? And so like I think that going out and meeting the people that you're actually fans of is very like therapeutic to people's souls. And so I totally welcome it as long as you're buying something, like please buy something from the booth, but I really, really enjoy like I said, the community in horror conventions, and I'm very grateful for them. And it's also an opportunity for me to make more money off of the work that I've already done. It's not like I'm like a Hollywood actress. It's like, SAG or something. So I don't get like residuals off of sales, but I can buy, a box of movies that I've already done and then resell them with my signature on them. And here I've got a different stream of income. Like it's very, very awesome for me.
A few months ago, we had a guest in studio, Mark Haynes, and Mark went on to talk about a movie called Amityville Barbie, and he goes into talking about being on the set and his role as a deado. And he's like, well, I got to work with Jessa Flux. Do you know who Jessa Flux is? And we were like, do we know who the fuck Jessa Flux is? I was like, did you not see Murder Signs? Um, so yeah, it was pretty cool. He got to talk about his involvement in being in Amityville Barbie. That hopefully comes out in the near future. What was it like for you working on that movie?
Well, I've only shot really the opening of that film. They really are going big with that movie, so we're still raising funds for it. There's been several scenes that have been shot that like I haven't personally, I am like Amityville Barbie, like I am the Amityville Barbie. But like being on that set was one of the best experiences I've had on set ever. It was, first of all, we did it at this really like fancy high dollar studio, the scene that I shot. And then also I had my own dressing room. Like it was like they got food special for me. I told them I liked like blueberry donuts and they bought like a whole box of blueberry donuts for me. I mean, they were really, really gracious people. I also got to learn fight choreography for the very first time. And I think that, you know, the director was a little bit concerned that maybe possibly I wouldn't be able to do it. But I do come from a dance background, like I said before. So it's really just movement vocabulary and getting it into your body and learning like how to it's like it's choreography. I mean, it's like you're working with somebody else. You're making sure you're out of the way when they're punching. And that was really cool for me, to the point where I was like, can we do more? I was really scared going in. I was really nervous about learning the fight choreography, but now I'm actually going to a workshop in Atlanta in June where I'm going to be focusing on learning more fight choreography and even some sword fighting, some stage sword fighting. So I'm really like, Amityville Barbie really opened up a lot of things for me, and I can't wait for us to continue. I think they're going to end up releasing what they've shot already as a short film to be able to raise funds to continue production. But even in just the stuff that I've filmed for it so far, I'm super proud of it. Super proud of it.
Okay. Yeah. When shortly after we had Mark in studio, I think it was in less than a week, he was doing a con up in North Jersey. So myself and our guy that's not here now, we ended up meeting up over there because he lives about an hour north of where this place was. I live about an hour south of it. So we just kind of met in the middle and hung out there, was talking to Mark, and here he was hanging out at the table where I'm drawing a blank on his name now, but he was just looping like the trailer.
Oh, are you talking about Deadsville Ronan, the director?
Probably,
Yeah, yeah.
probably, yeah.
He's a stunt guy. So that's why whenever he was making this film, he really wanted it to be stunt heavy. And so that audition, I did the coolest fucking audition. I should actually post it because like I did the coolest audition. I was really proud of my like I did like a freeze frame and then I had like I spoke over that. It was I did like that's probably the coolest audition I've ever done. And I'm really proud of getting the part. But yeah, so he's a stunt guy himself. So he
Okay.
really wanted this movie to be super stunt heavy, lots of fighting. There was something that I learned to do, like I got pulled up like so I was supposed to like jump down from like very high up and we not like, you know, as like any film goes, you set out to do all this stuff in a certain amount of time and you can't do it all. So I didn't get to do that, but I learned how to like properly like be suspended like from a huge crane device thing.
Mhm.
And I really can't wait to do more of that. Like I think it's gonna be so awesome.
So has there been any updates as far as when shooting's going to resume? Like, is he looking to get all the money before it continues, or is he kind of shooting as he earns?
I think it's a little bit of both. So, like I said, we've this. I think that we're doing the second campaign right for it now, but they've shot like other scenes, so they're kind of doing it a little bit as they go. But also, he got the idea not too long ago to just put out what they have so far as the
Mhm.
short film, enter it in film festivals, build traction to get more money because they really want this to be awesome. And everything that I've seen so far that's been edited, he's also doing his own editing, which I think is fantastic. He's very talented at that. So it's going to be big. It's going to it for me as far as like what I've seen in the footage, it is like the highest budgeted looking thing and probably the highest budgeted thing I've done. Like for what we've shot so far. It looks fantastic. Like it's very like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
That's the
yeah.
vibe I was getting. Buffy the Vampire Slayer versus Evil Dead.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mark Haynes shows up.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about Twin Peaks, so sorry.
We got to check out Crackoon, which
Oh.
I think I saw a recent post you had mentioned about having an award under Mr. Skin or something, or possibly
Yes.
being out there.
Yeah, so
I
I've
didn't
been
know he was still a thing.
that's what okay, I didn't even know what Mr. Skin was until I won an award for like best boobs of like 2024 or something for Murder Size whenever that was released. But also, yeah, so whenever that came out, I was like super excited about it. I had no idea how big Mr. Skin is and how like recognized the brand is. But like I just found out that Crackoon, my shower scene in Crackoon, won like best award for like it was like one of the best butt scenes or something of 2024. But I don't have like they're very particular about how you can see their content on their website, and I don't have a membership, so I can't see what they've posted about it. But I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to get more information on it, and yeah, I'm super. I'm like really like happy that Mr. Skin has recognized me at all. Like I think the best nude scene of the year that I think it was 2023 actually that Murder Size came out, and the like there's a list, and the girl who won is got the most fantastic body. Sydney Sweeney like won for her nude scenes in Euphoria, and she's not only a fantastic actress, but God damn, like the way that she's built, like they don't make them like that no more. Like so to be on a list with her is pretty like validating.
Yeah, and that kill scene in Crackoon.
Yeah. Yeah, shooting that was really funny because they literally, it's a puppet. It's a Crackoon puppet, and they just kept throwing it at me, and then I would just like fight with it, just willy-nilly. And yeah, I have some behind the scenes video that I actually took of that. I need to probably post that somewhere, but I can't post it on OnlyFans because you can't have anything that has blood on OnlyFans. That's like the rule. So I'm naked, I'm like topless the whole time, so I can't. Like, where else am I going to post it? But it's really really funny. We were cracking up like as soon as like they yelled cut. Like we were just all dying because literally they're throwing a puppet at me and I'm just like acting like it's like killing me. But yeah, that was like a really fun movie to do. And as soon as I heard about it, I like demanded that they put me in it. Like I was like, I have to be a part of this. Like please let me play a part.
You got to go in watching that. Like you know what you're getting. The
Absolutely.
title of it says.
Oh, I saw Slaughterhouse and loved that.
Yeah.
So
I think my wife saw it was like Crackoon. Is this really a movie? And I'm like, yes, and we were going to watch it. So
Love that.
it's the spin-off movie from Cocaine Bear. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. But
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good time as well. Like
you know what you're getting into when you're watching it.
yeah,
Man,
you
I
don't
think
listen to
Cocaine
that and
Bear
be
could've
like,
gone
oh, I
farther.
hope it has a lot of artistic value. It's just going to be a lot of fun. So
Yeah,
now have
I
to
mean,
watch it.
like the whole horror comedy genre is have been very good to me, but also I love it. Like I love the idea of being like spooked out and scared and grossed out by gore, but also laughing at the same time. It really takes a lot of the pressure off of something being so serious. Like you know, what was that movie that Lloyd was giving you hell about the shirt?
Oh,
Oh,
Terrifier.
Terrifier.
Yeah, Terrifier, dude. It didn't hit for me. I'll tell you my opinion on it. It's not. It was well shot. It was you know, it hit all the marks technically, but it was so. I've only seen the first one, and I barely remember it. That's how much I didn't care for it. Like I just please, I don't want anybody to get mad at me. Like the guy who plays Art the Clown is so nice in real life, and I feel bad saying this, but it's just you know, if it was
It's not
funny,
for
if they
everybody.
would have added
It's not for
funny
everybody.
elements to it, like I would have been way more into it. Like I think sometimes like horror can take itself so seriously
Mhm.
that it just misses the mark for me personally. Like I love it when we can laugh about it.
What was your first introduction to horror?
My first introduction to horror, I want to say there was some movie like on cable that I was staying up really late and watching, and like I don't know what the like title of it was, but it was like they were abducting these people and burying them into the ground, and like they were like harvesting their meat, and what is that? Like it was so
It wasn't Motel Hell, was it?
Motel Hell. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
totally
okay.
what it was.
I
Yeah,
know.
so I was like,
It was a
what the
good one
fuck
to
is
start with.
that was I remember seeing that and being like, what am I watching? And then the one that really tore my ass out from under me was Candyman. That scared the absolute fucking shit out of me. That wasn't
Yeah,
funny at
yeah.
all, but it was a beautiful story. There was a romance to it. I also like the aspect, even though it's not a real story, but it could be. Like I love that it could be a historical like tale, you know. And I love that it addressed some stuff with race. It's a beautiful piece, like as far as art goes, like, and it also scared the living loving hell out of me. Like I've never still to this day said Candyman more than one time.
You stopped yourself at one time, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
you just said it for the second time in like 2 minutes.
Okay, but not in succession though. I've never in my life. I would still never.
So, Jessa, you are up for an award. So, coming out is the Alt Star Awards for 2025. Is that correct?
That is correct, and I'm super excited about it. Because as soon as I turned 18, I came out with a solo site, which they're not super popular anymore because OnlyFans has taken over sites like OnlyFans, Loyal Fans, and all those. But before there was Loyal Fans and OnlyFans, there was solo sites, and it's basically the same thing. They were like, we would release a photo set a week of starting clothes and ending up nude by the end, and then there would also be videos and stuff like that. And at the time, I was kind of following all these other adult performers, and I like it's called the Alt Porn Awards, but they call it Alt Star Awards now. I think to get around like just to get around like the algorithms and everything. But I have been wanting to be recognized by them for a very, very long time. And the fact that like someone nominated me, or obviously several people must have nominated me for me to actually be like nominated, is like, it's fantastic. Like I'm so excited about it. So I'm up for the award that is best premium social media star. So I think that like encompasses like my work with OnlyFans, and then also like my work with just social media in general, which we've talked about earlier how much fucking work that is. So like to finally be recognized for any of that is, I'm so excited. I can't wait to go to the award ceremony. I don't expect to win, but please vote. You can go to jessadoesitall.com and scroll down to the bottom of the screen, and you can vote, and you can do it daily, and you can share it. So please do that. But regardless of if I win or not, just to even be nominated for this award ceremony is just like, I just can't believe it. Like, I'm so excited. Like, yay.
You got multiple votes from this group here today.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much.
we wish you the best. And when is the voting over?
So the award ceremony, I believe, is on June 1st. So it's at the end of May. So I think you can vote every day. Set an alarm on your phone. That's what I recommend. And just put Jessa in there, and then just put Jessa Does It All like as the alarm, and then just go to the link and yeah, vote for me. But I know that they don't just judge on votes themselves. They also judge on shares. So every time you vote, if you can share on your X account or Blue Sky, please do, because they count those as well. It's basically like how far you can reach with promoting your nomination. So, and I think there's a lot that goes into it. Somebody that I love, Stephanie Love, won this award last year that I was nominated for this, for 2025. And she's fantastic. I don't know if you guys have seen her movie, but it's Babezilla. Babezilla versus Mecha Babezilla. I was in. You mentioned that earlier,
Absolutely.
and I feel like a sensei wise person, because I'm definitely not exactly female and I'm not exactly male in that. So that was really cool. But she won last year, and she is fantastic at social media. She's an adult performer. She's done the Babezilla movies. She like, just sitting and talking to her, she has come so far in her life and gone through so much stuff. And like the way she's like, I think she should do stand up, to be honest. Like, she's so funny. So she's also up for this award again. So I don't think I can beat her out, but I'm happy to be like nominated with her. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah. And yeah, funny that you brought that up, because I watched Babezilla again, like in the past week. I just like anything that's on streaming, I'm watching, because it would be nice to have at least more than one movie under my belt. But when I watched that, by the end of the movie, I text these guys saying, I said, no matter what you think of the movie, I said Jess's bush in that in that movie. I love how, spoiler alert, they gave you the Fu Manchu.
Not only a mustache, but a merkin as well. Like it was.
And I don't know. It just had me cracking up.
I hope you thought it was funny. Like I really wanted to like they wanted, I think so it was sort of an Asian centric role originally, because like I'm teaching her like karate and like all of that. But I didn't want to come at it from that perspective since I'm not Asian. So I kind of was like, well, how else can I go about this? I'd like to do it like as like a Willie Nelson burnout hippie type guy girl character, and I thought it was really fun to do. I felt like my character was really funny. I also do like stand up and improv comedy, so like anytime I get a chance to be funny, like I'm so down for that. So I hope that came across whenever you watched it. But
absolutely.
like Stephanie Love's character is ridiculous. Like she is so animated, so funny, and she's so fucking hot too. Like you can't like look past that. I mean, she's built real nice too.
Yeah, sorry, even with the lizard mask on, yeah, she still looks good.
I know, yeah. And her little sling thong thing. She's nice looking.
Over the past week, I've watched a lot of your movies, Jessa.
Thank you.
And I'm a huge fan of Linnea Quigley. Okay. So growing up, I've met Linnea multiple times, to the point where my wife is like, you got to like choose between me or her, right?
That's funny.
But I'm going to say this is that you're like the queen of like you're the queen of like independent horror movies right now. Like, and I was still a big fan of Linnea, and seeing your work and what you do, and you're putting yourself out there, and you just putting out the content is pretty awesome. And that's something that like I try to compare, like, from then and now, like your work, we enjoy it, we like watch it, we talk about it. And it's for us, we get a kick out of it, we get a laugh because we don't take everything seriously. We're like, oh man, that horror movie sucks. No, you need to laugh sometimes. You have a lot of fun with it. Your roles are unique, they're always different. So it's like what character of Jessa we get in this time around. So we truly love it. But the one thing I do want to hit on is the Murder Size movie, and it's a fun movie, and it's fun, and we love it.
And we're not like the whole intro thing. That's not pandering. Like that was an actual conversation that took place. That I think Danny was the first one to see it, and he's like, guys, you got to watch this movie. I think I put it on at that moment. If he's going to recommend it, I got to jump right on it. And I think everybody else agrees, but for me, it was, I mean, of course, we're all guys. So seeing a movie where you have this beautiful woman, her tits hanging out and all, you would think that would be the highlight of that, but your over the top brattiness in that scene is the moment where we're like, we got to get her on the show. Like that scene, and just you throwing that tantrum, like, why won't anybody look at him? Look at him. Like the fact that you were topless was secondary in that scene. And it was like that.
Yeah.
We just agreed. Like, that's how amazing that performance was, that it was like, oh yeah, and her boobs are out too. Like it didn't matter.
I was very proud of that performance. I don't think whenever Paul and Angie approached me to take on the character of Candy, they kind of like presented it as, well, it's not a very big character, but we'd love to have you if you want to do it. Like, this is what it is. Take a look at the script. And I don't think they realized that I'm funny. Like, so like, I think they just thought I was going to play it straight and that was just going to be it, but we got on set and the whole set experience with them was super, super awesome, because like all the girls that were hired to be the different characters in the workout video, that Murder Size is, they were all really supportive of each other. So it just felt like a really good, supportive environment. And so I felt comfortable saying, can we do this scene as it's written, and then can I lose my mind? And they were just like, sure, yeah, okay. And like, so we did it as written, and then we did the take that they ended up using of that scene, and I just completely just went off the rails. And there, honestly, it ended, I think it might be on the extras on the Blu-ray, but it ended in both me and Drew Marvick crying about he wouldn't look at my tits, and he's like, but I can't, I really want to get in the union. Like, it got so silly. And like everybody everybody was like cracking up. They were like trying to hold it in to be quiet. And like the girls from the other room had like all run into the room that we were filming in. And that felt really good. So, cause like, it was like not just like the camera was on, but the audience like came to me because they heard me like going the fuck off. And it was a really like I felt high like from that moment. Like it was really really fun, and I'm so glad that it ended up being something that a lot of people remembered from the film. I'm really proud of it. I also did, and this I don't think a lot of people know this, but I did the choreography for the workout video as well, since I have that dance background, and so that was really fun. And I just really just pulled it out of my ass because they were like, "Does anybody know how to do aerobics?" I'm like, "Well, I'm a dancer. Like, yeah, I can do it really quick." And so I just came up with it, and it just that whole experience was super fun for me, and I'm really proud of that work.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like I said, that's where we officially became a fan. So I'm glad you shot your shot as far as going over the top with it, and the fact that they threw that in the movie, because yeah, that was just amazing.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
so you were mentioning about doing stand up. Is that something you do somewhat regularly? I mean, it sounds like you're already kind of shuffling around like 4 or 5 other jobs, but is that something you get out to do much?
No, I would like to do it more, but I don't live in an area, to be honest with you, that has a lot of open mics, because comedy is not something you get paid for the first 10 years. That's what everybody's told me. I wish I would have started it way before I did, but like a year and a half ago, I went to Austin, Texas, and I took several different classes, and I stayed there for 2 months with a friend that allowed me to stay there for free. And I took a stand-up class, improv comedy class. I took a characterization acting class where it was like really about developing character. And then I did several workshops every Sunday that were about different aspects of auditioning via tape. Well, it's not tape anymore, but you know what I mean. Auditioning, filming yourself and sending in an audition tape, quote unquote. So I really got my start with comedy there. And Austin, Texas is like the comedy mecca right now. So that was really, really helpful to me. But the class structure really allowed me to like explore what I already knew about comedy, and then also like helped me to like build a story. And like it's really like a story arc. I find that the comedians that I find like the most entertaining, they're not just random. Like they have like a story that like it comes from here, it goes, and then we come back to the main point of the story. Like that's what I like. And so anytime I get a chance to perform, anytime someone asks me to perform, I've been paid twice for stand up, which I'm very proud of, with the amount that I've done. But like it's always going to be a yes for me. Like if you ask me to do it right now, you know what I mean? Like if I was like at a comedy club and someone's like, "Do you want to go up?" I'd be like, "Look, I don't have anything prepared, but like I will do it." Cause it's just been something, like I was a class clown growing up. So, like I said, like I was super shy, but if I got people laughing, like that's when I came out of my shell. So it's like, it is a beautiful art form, and I'm so glad to be able to participate in it when I can. I wish I lived in an area where I could do like several open mics a night. That would be ideal, honestly. But unfortunately, I don't. There's like one open mic a month in Evansville, Indiana. So like anytime I am available and in town, which isn't often, I will hit it up. But I would love to do it more.
Okay. Was there ever like a specific comedian that kind of gave you that bug, or was it more of a natural, you just always like making people laugh?
A little bit of both. So I remember being like 4 years old, and my mom took me over to her friend Bo's house, and all of their friends were watching. They came to all get together and watch this comedy special. I have no idea who it was, but I just remember looking at them watching this guy on screen, and the way that he commanded their attention was so hypnotic to me, and I wanted that. Like I wanted to be a part of that, and it was from that time I was like, I want to make people laugh. I want to make people laugh. So like that was really the kicker for me. And then the first time I ever performed ever was in like I was 5, and we were doing like a school thing. I don't know, like some stuff, like a performance. Like what
Like a
are they
talent
called?
show type of thing?
Play.
Yeah, yeah. And so like they were like, okay, so they was circus themed, and they were basically like, okay, so we need lions. So like all the people that were like dancers that had started doing dance classes, they did like the lion thing, and there was like a lion tamer and stuff. And then they were like, you know, like there was like people that already had sort of like these gifts that they were able to express in the show. And then it was us that had no, like I had nothing. Like I hadn't taken dance lessons yet. Like I didn't have any experience with anything. And so they were like, we'll make you clowns. And I was like, okay, well, I have a clown costume from last year that still fits, like from Halloween. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll be a clown, whatever. And like I said, I was super shy. And there was a moment where we come out and we're just being all clowny, you know, whatever. And so we come out being all clowny, and I actually I fell. I fell and I ended up doing it's called a fish flop, but it's I didn't know what it was then. It's basically a somersault backwards. I did that, and then the crowd like screamed. Like, and it was like they were laughing so hard because they thought that I had done it on purpose. And it was like a beautiful accident that like happened. And I remember the feeling that I got from that was like, there's no drugs or alcohol or anything that can give you that high. And so I just started being really wonky and falling around, and people came up to me after the performance and they were like, you were the best thing in the whole show. And I was like, really? Like, thank you, you know? But so
I
yeah,
meant
like
to do
making
that.
people laugh has always been really high on the list for me. So that's kind of why I wanted to get into comedy. Also, Margaret Cho. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her work. She got a little bit she's very, very funny, and she comes from a place talking about her background being Asian, which is fascinating to me. I grew up with a step grandmother that was Korean, so I was like, oh, I know about some of this stuff whenever I'd watch her specials and stuff. And I had like a DVD box set of like all of her specials at one time that got lost in the shuffle of life. But I really, really always found her fantastic. She got a little preachy for me at one point because I mean, I'm very like liberal. I like to, I have empathy for people, but it's like, I don't know if it has a strong place in comedy. It's like we go to like laugh at comedians to get away from all of that stuff. So whenever she kind of got into that vibe, she kind of lost me. But I still think she's a fantastic performer, and I wanted to be like her. Like I wanted to be like her when I grew up. So she is kind of my inspo for that.
The whole world, like, unfortunately, especially in the last decade, like every aspect of life is political.
Yeah.
And it just, that was the beauty of comedy shows. Like that was
Yeah.
an escape from the real world. And I understand there could be a niche thing where it's like, oh, I'm gonna go see this political comedian, but like, can we just have that one thing to be an escape? So
Yeah, but I mean, she really spoke up for people of all different genders, people like of size. She spoke up for the queer community, and I always thought that was super cool. And she just really inspired me. But like I said, I go to comedy, I approach comedy as a way to get away from all the things that are super serious in life. So I just prefer to be a little like lackadaisical. I don't even know if that's a word, but like I just like to kind of like just
It's a
be
way to
free.
let loose and be free, and just have fun.
Yes, yes. So like that's what I enjoy. But if somebody told me Margaret Cho was performing down the street, I'd run, skip, and jump down there to see whatever the hell she had to say about the current administration or whatever today. So, with that said, like I still think she's fucking awesome. But yeah, I don't like to get too political in anything online or in movies or in my stand up or anything that I do. Just because I don't want to alienate anybody, like because we're all just trying to do our best, and if you're a good person, that's all I care about.
yeah, yeah. We just need less assholes in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that's part of the beauty of like the whole con scene. Like I could think of one possible time. Well, I didn't witness it. I heard about it. It was after I left. But as far as horror conventions go, I've heard of one incident in the dozens I've gone to that was not ideal. Other than that, you never hear about fights or like any significant. It really is just this community and everybody's on the same page. All right, you might think this movie's shit, whereas this is your favorite movie. But other than that, it's like, all right, we disagree. Fine, move on. Like no
Mhm.
big. You never hear about drama or bullshit, and then Gary Busey had to fuck that up a couple years ago,
Oh yeah.
and
I don't
apparently
even know about that. I should stay away from any drama. I don't want to
it
hear
was
about
it
it.
was it was one of the ones we went to. I don't even know what the outcome was, but I heard there was talks of a Me Too incident
Oh
involving
man.
Gary Busey.
Yeah.
We
Sounds-
don't know if it actually happened. Like once I heard that, it's like I don't want to taint, my thoughts on how the horror conventions go. It's like in my mind, all right, whatever happened, those that deserve punishment will get it and move on. But outside of that, you never hear of, fights or even like any severe arguments. The worst you
Right.
get is like, oh, I met so and so when they were having a bad day, and yeah, it kind of ruined meeting an idol of mine. But so I think that's what we need. We need like a global horror convention. It's
Yes,
like
just
a week long, and you will have world peace for that moment.
for that moment. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that the con scene is just very accepting of each other. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's just like, oh, you don't like that movie? Cool. Well, whatever. Like, it's like nobody's like getting on each other's ass about like, oh, you didn't like Babezilla. Like, ugh, like fuck you, dude. Like, I mean, like it's not for everybody. Like,
Right.
everything that is, it's all art, right? So art's going to be received by different people different ways. And
Yeah, it's
if
all
you are an
subjective.
artist or creative yourself, you should be accepting of all forms. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, like Terrifier didn't really come off as like really hitting for me, but like I still respect it. I think it's like what they did there is fucking fantastic. And what the fandom that they reached being an independent movie
Mhm.
is like inspiring. Like they really did something with that. And so like even when you don't like something, you can always say something good about it. Like
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I like about the horror con scene as well. I think everybody's really supportive of each other.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of like again, like any of the so far the movies of yours that I've seen, it's yeah. Am I going to turn on the Oscars and see any of this? No, but it's a fun time.
Mhm.
It's just something you could throw on. You're going to smile, you're going to laugh, you're going to, whatever for like an hour, hour and a half. And it was like, okay, I forgot about life in that time, and I don't feel I lost because you always get these people, oh, I went and saw this and I wish I could have that 2 hours back. Like, so far of what I've seen of your movies, like, I haven't had that. It was just like,
Love
okay,
that.
yeah, that was a fun distraction from life. And you move on.
Awesome. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that. I also do
Memorable moments.
Yeah.
I do super serious stuff as well. It's just that the stuff that's more in the comedy type genre is what really picks up, you know.
Yeah.
And as a performer, I love doing both. Like I love being super serious and I also love being really funny. And I also love being serious about being funny, you know. So like I don't mind any of it as long as I'm like getting to perform and to take on these different characters and to help the directors and the writers of the project realize their dream. Like it's a fantastic like collab project. You know what I mean? Like it's like whenever someone comes up with the idea and they write it out and then they come up with like the shooting schedule and everything. Whenever I show up and I'm able to like give them my honest to God best interpretation of what they've wanted me to perform for them, it feels really good. Like it's like you can't like make green without like blue and yellow. You know what I mean? So like I'm the yellow and the green. So like we get together and we mix these colors and we make something fantastic together. And it's like it just feels really good. And as a person that like I've always considered myself an artist, but like I've been kind of like very like wishy-washy about like picking a lane. Like I grew up like being a good drawer, you know, like you're so good at drawing. But like, you know, then I kind of like someone was better than me. So I kind of quit like in like third or fourth grade. I kind of stopped chasing that dream. And, you know, then I got into dance and then, you know, I did dance for a while. I went to college for dance, but like that's not like something that most people can make a living off of. So, you know, I'm really happy that I found acting because there's so many different aspects to it that it's not just one thing. It's not just showing up and performing. It's developing the character. In independent cinema, like I have to oftentimes pick my own wardrobe. That's a whole different art form within itself. I have to do my hair and makeup to represent who this person is in the storyline. Like all of that, like all of it goes into being an actor for me. And it's like it's just so like validating. All the life experience that I've had goes into acting for me. So it's like I can use everything. I can use everything for this job, and I love that about it.
You want to jump into some rapid fire? I know we're getting close to the
Do the
end.
yeah, do the rapid
Oh,
fire.
all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't want to like, especially since you're on the road for business. Yeah. We don't want to hog up too much of your time, even though, again,
We're
I
very
just want to
tha-
go back to Twin Peaks for
Yeah,
a couple
we're
more hours.
Yeah,
we're
let's talk
very,
about Twin Peaks.
we're very thankful for all the time that you have given us too, Jessa. We do really appreciate it.
Absolutely, it's
We
been a
do our
pleasure.
best to not take advantage of the windows we're given.
All right.
Okay.
Jessa, you ready for some rapid fire?
Oh man, I'm gonna try. Yeah, let's
All
do
right.
it.
This is more of
It's
a little more of a getting to know you type segment, a lot of hypotheticals and all. So there's no right or wrong here.
Okay.
all right. Favorite cartoon growing up?
Favorite cartoon growing up. See,
Yeah, stumped her
I
first.
want to say Animaniacs, but I also want to say Daria. You know, like both.
Okay.
I choose both.
Okay.
Actually, I
And Ren and
suddenly
Stimpy.
want.
And Ren and Stimpy.
Okay.
Okay. That's a
I
fine
suddenly want to
difference,
see
so.
with the glasses. I can almost envision like a Daria thing happening right now.
Oh yeah, no, like everybody compared me to Daria
Oh,
because my
all right.
hair's like dark brown and I wore glasses and I was very monotone because I was just scared of everything. So it came off like I was very like above everything, but it really wasn't that. I was just shy and weird.
Believe me, I understand dry delivery.
Stranded on an island and only one food to survive on. What is it?
A glizzy. I want a hot dog, honey. I want
All
like
right.
I want a chili dog. I'll take it raw. Like you can eat a hot dog any kind of way. You can cut it up in little dicey little pieces and put it in your like scrambled eggs. Like hot dogs, buddy. I love hot dogs.
Awesome.
Yeah, I knew somebody years ago who was like, "Hey, let me come over and make you breakfast." I was like, "Oh, okay." And it just I've had people like, "Hey, you want to meet up for breakfast?" But for someone to be like, "Oh, let me come make you breakfast," I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "All right, what are we having?" They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna make you trailer park eggs," and that's what it was. It was hot dogs chopped up and scrambled eggs, and I was like, "This is like the greatest thing ever."
Yeah, I've never heard it called that, but I grew up on that.
So, all right, well,
Also, beanie weenies. Let's not forget.
Are those the ones in a can?
They are in a can. It's like
Okay.
it's like chopped up hot dogs and like baked beans. They're
Yeah.
fantastic.
Any crazy talents you have that you can share?
I think I can get my whole fist in my mouth. Hold on, let me take my rings off.
yeah, don't
I
fuck up
think
your
we have
teeth.
Wow.
Jesus.
I feel like I wasted my entire life.
Okay. We have
Um,
you're the first
yeah, I
one
don't know.
that
Is
we've
that a
had
talent?
to
I
actually
don't
perform
know.
that.
But I also can read palms. I can read palms. That's my party trick.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would ask you, but everybody that started to stopped pretty early on. So I guess that just means I'm in for nothing but a shitstorm in life.
Well, you know, the shitstorm is a beautiful thing. You always have something to talk about.
Yeah, it's character building.
It is. It is.
Favorite horror movie franchise, if you have one.
Favorite horror movie franchise. Does Twin Peaks count?
I-
It's kind of
Yeah.
horrific. I'm gonna say Twin Peaks. I'm going to say that counts.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, Fire Walk with Me is borderline, like pretty serious horror. It's
It's like a
definitely terrifying.
psychological horror. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fucking scary. Yeah, for sure.
and you wouldn't have it without the say. I'm counting it. I'm biased, but I'm
Okay.
counting it.
Do you have a favorite horror villain?
Mm.
Bob.
Like if you had an opportunity to get a role being killed by this iconic horror character, Joe, you can move out of the way so she can see our friend behind you.
Nah, she already said she wants something to do with him.
I you said Bob. Bob would be fantastic to be killed by. He like what was his name? His name was Frank something. He passed away shortly after Twin Peaks was actually aired, but he was actually just I don't know if you guys know this, but
He was one of the set guys, right?
yeah, he was
Yeah.
the set guy. He was working on the set and he dipped down. First of all, like it was an accident. It was like one of those happy accidents
Yep.
where there was a scene where Laura Palmer's mother is crying and
He
in the
forgot to get
mirror
off set.
reflected and like they were like, oh, we got to shoot that scene again. And David Lynch was like, why do we have to do that? Like
That's
that was fantastic.
terrific.
Yeah, and they were like, well, he was, you know, Frank. What is his name? Someone look it up because
Yeah,
I
it's
don't.
gonna bug me.
Yeah, somebody look it up. But so he was in the mirror and he was like, no, that's fantastic. Like that's gonna it changed the whole shape of the story thus forward. And so they decided to make him the villain. And it's really he's not even the villain, he's a spirit. So that's even scarier. So I would
Who's the-
say him.
Frank Silva.
Silva,
Frank
that's
Silva.
it. Yep.
Frank Silva. What a guy. But yes, he was. Yeah, David just asked him. He was like, Frank, do you also happen to be? Do you act? And he was like, Yeah, I'm actually an actor. And he's like, Perfect. We're gonna put you in. And so like from then on, he was
That's
Bob. He was the
crazy.
spirit that embodied Laura's father, Ray Wise, and like took him over and made him a terrible, horrible human being. I think that that's a beautiful analogy for like why people do really fucked up things in life. It's like, is it them or is it like this other like entity that's forcing them like to live out their grossest, most terrible fantasies? Like, I think it's pretty neat. But also, if I had to choose someone else, I would definitely go with the original Candyman.
Okay.
He's hot too. He's
Yeah.
like
And
sexy,
that's the thing. He's like so creepy and all that, but there is like
smooth.
this seduction element to
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
R.I.P. Tony Todd.
Yeah, Tony Todd. I wish I would have met him. I wish I would have had an opportunity to meet him.
How many tattoos do you have?
Ooh, one, two, three, four. Four
You
of
plan on
them.
getting any more?
Yes. I have several ideas for things that I would like to do, but I'm not in any rush. Like I had plans for like this tattoo, for example, since I was a kid because Bjork has it. So I waited a long time, but I don't want to get like I know people that immediately they graduated high school and they just got all tattooed up. Like and it's just like those like take your time, hon. Like get something have something that's always new and like exciting. Like I got this new tattoo. Like I think that is the way to go about it. So I don't ever want to just like go and just like tattoo my whole body right now with all the ideas I have. I'll get them slowly as time goes on.
Cool.
If it's something you're never going to regret, then there's no rush.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
First concert.
First concert. I don't know. I know the first concert. Okay, so the first music festival I will say I went to was something. I was visiting Seattle, and my mom took me, and I was always alone growing up, like because I'm an only child and everything. So she took me, and she just sat up in like wherever like it's like bleachers or something, and I just went down to the bottom, and I just started dancing, and I got to see Sonic Youth, and like there's a lot of bands that played that day, but I just had this like religious experience to Sonic Youth. This definitely wasn't my first concert, but then I ended up dancing with these people, and then I found out I ended up going to college with some of them for dance. Like it was like the weirdest, most kismet, like interesting thing that happened to me. And that's where I went to college for dance is in Seattle, Washington. So I ended up knowing those people for a very long time. So that was kind of weird. But like, I don't even know what my first concert was, to be honest. So skip.
All right. Favorite song, unless you have.
Favorite song is Silent Shout by The Knife of all time. Yeah, it's a really cool song.
If you have an opportunity to work with one actor or actress from any generation, who would it be?
Dead or Alive?
Dead or alive?
Oh, for sure, Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd probably end up like being lovers, I think. We would definitely like because she had a little sugar in her shorts. So and so do I. So I think that she would just be so intoxicating to be around. She was very good at like putting it on, and I find that like really inspiring. And I love all of her work. She did a lot of like bimbo-y roles, and I think she was trying to get away from that before she ended up with her untimely passing. But if you ever get the chance to see Don't Bother to Knock, it was a very serious role that she played. It's very film noir. And she plays like this psycho woman that she ends up kidnapping a child. It's fucked up. Like it's really a great movie. Like she's fantastic.
Yeah. And her backstory in general is like, wow.
Yeah, no, she really
Like the shit she's been through.
Yeah, she made lemonade out of lemons or whatever people say. Like she wasn't dealt like a very strong hand, and she made the best out of what she was offered in life, and she did the best she could. And I think she's a really inspiring person.
Yeah, and just became an icon for all.
Absolutely. I mean, we all know who she is.
Yep.
If you had a DeLorean and you can go back to any year, is there a particular year you would want to go back to?
I would love to go back to the mid 90s and actually experience the rave scene. I think that that would be, and I'm talking about like after the club kids, because I got all into like the club kid shit. Like, because I saw a Party Monster whenever I was like a kid, and I was like, whoa, these people are crazy. They're like drag queens, they're artists, they're mimes, they're clowns. Like that's really cool. But I think that I would want to go back to the mid '90s rave scene and check that out. Like, I think that would be a really really fun time.
Okay. Okay.
So let's say '96
All right. All right.
as an adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Getting close to the end. What's one thing you'd do if there were no consequences?
The
Hmm.
purges come to Indiana. You get one free night. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
No judgment.
I punched my mom in the face as hard as I could.
I don't know your mom. I just the idea of somebody coming out and saying that, I admire that.
You might not be the only one in the room that would want to.
Shady Daniel, shut your face.
Yeah, I would love that opportunity. If, there's no consequences and I didn't go to jail over it.
But just one time.
Just one really hard
Just
square.
don't love it too much, and then you spend the rest of the time like, oh, I need more.
No, like that's gross, but like just one swift punch in the middle of the noggin, that'd be great.
All right.
Do you believe in UFOs?
Yes, and I actually saw one, I think, whenever I was like 7 years old. My mom and I were traveling via the Greyhound. We moved to Arizona for a while, and we got out there via Greyhound, and we were passing through New Mexico, and I was asleep, and I was like probably drooling, leaned up against the side of the bus, and my mom woke me up and was like, look in the sky. And all the people in the bus were all on our side of the bus, and they were looking out of those windows on our side. And there was something that was in the sky. And I guess it could have been like just like some kind of, I don't know, like experimental plane or something that they were trying out, but it was really weird. It was like kind of like a shooting star, and that but it was pretty constant, and they would blink out and then show up. So it would like on the skyline, it would like kind of like zoom. It would zoom really fast and go really slow, zoom up, down. Like the directions were really unnatural. Then it would blink out and then show up over here. And it was really weird and fantastic to see. I have no idea what the hell it really truly was, but yeah, I do think, I mean, it's like audacious for us to say we're the only like beings in the universe that have some intelligence to us. Like, that's crazy. If nothing else, it could be people from the future that have turned into this gray being or whatever people like see aliens as, coming back from the future to maybe fix something. I mean, there's so many different things it could be, but yes, I think that possibly UFOs are real.
Okay.
Now, with this trip, was this like were you guys passing through like Roswell, or was it another part of the state?
Well, I was 7, so I don't know. I just remember that we were in New Mexico because we were coming up on the New Mexico stop.
Okay.
And we stopped there, and it was at nighttime. And the skyline was pretty beautiful. Like, I always have wanted to do a road trip back through like the West like that again, because being out in the desert is the most mystical thing I've ever experienced in my life. And just watching outside of those windows, it was pretty fantastic. And it's so desolate and scary and beautiful. Like, it's the most interesting experience. And I would love to do it, but I don't want to ever do it on a Greyhound again. That was fucking terrible. Like, awful.
Now you're a big girl, you got your own vehicle, and
Yeah.
the
Little clown
control's
car.
all yours.
Exactly. So I might do that again one day. I think that would be really fun to do. But yeah, we lived in Arizona for like a year and a half whenever I was like 7 to 8. And that was fun.
Okay. Awesome story. Love that.
Yeah.
We have one last question.
Okay.
One of your biggest fans, Mr. Polo, has a question. If you now have Jupiter, who's taking over Uranus?
Oh my God. Who's taken over Uranus?
Uh,
I don't even know how to answer that.
we're just gonna leave that alone. It was
Let's leave
just,
it alone.
This is what happens when we get listeners involved
Yeah,
with the show.
that's why we make
Yes.
our own question.
yeah,
I respect the question though.
yeah.
And from what we've gathered over the last couple days is that, and you've proven that, you're really cool, you're very candid, like, you put us at ease. Like, we don't have to be like, oh, well, if we say this, is it going to set somebody off, is it going to piss people off? And it's good to see, like, you really are like an open book. So we figured you would be a good one to experiment. We put the word out like, hey, we're going to be talking to Jessa, anybody have any questions they'd like us to ask? Maybe we'll throw in a rapid fire, and this is what came up.
I
So-
love that. They asked about my anus, I think. So-
I'm still trying to piece together what he was going for, but where did because I'm guessing it was somewhat recent that you started using Jupiter.
Yeah,
Like, is that your middle name or is this something?
it's my middle name now.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I was getting at. Like, were you born with that and started using it, or
it's okay. So there's like, I'm
is
really
it more
into,
like a stage name type thing, or?
yes. So I'm really into mysticism and the energies of the planets and such. And so I just really wanted to embody the energy of Jupiter, which is like a very, it's like a very performative energy, but it's also about luck. It's about like drawing things into your orbit, I guess, if you will, that are like good for you. And it's a very strong energy, and so I just really wanted to add that into my name. Also, I am sort of like obsessed with this idea that I'm an alien. I think it comes from the fact that like I was born as an only child of a single mother who is also an only child. My mother is she's black and I am very white passing, and growing up in a black family, I felt sometimes a little bit different, because I didn't look like the rest of my family. And so just this whole like otherness that I feel that I have within myself, it's been really helpful to me because it's really made me empathetic to other people and their struggles and whatnot. But also like I love the idea of being an alien, and I would say that I'm from Jupiter.
Okay, no arguments there.
Well, Jessa, you have quite a few. Looks like over almost 20 movies that are either in post or in production right now. You're killing it in the indie scene for horror movies,
Thank you.
and we look forward to seeing you in more, and can't wait for the stuff that's pending to come out. But you can find all your stuff on your social, right? Is that Jessa does it all? I'm sorry,
Jessa
Jessa does it
all.
all.com,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
JessaDoesItAll.com. You can find all of my socials. You can find all of my links for my fan type pages. You can also, at the very top, I have my IMDb, so you can see what projects that I'm working on, what projects are coming up. There's a lot of things that are unlisted, I will say, on my IMDb, because at this point I've filmed over 50 projects. So not all of them are listed, and they probably won't none of them. There's some of them that will never be listed, but I'm grateful for all of them, and I hope to continue working at this pace. And please follow me and go on this journey with me.
Yeah. And everybody has to remember to vote for her.
Yep.
Yes, please
All-Star
vote for me.
Award.
Every
All-Star.
fucking day.
Best premium social media star.
Yes, that's me.
And then you're also going to be at that Tromathon 25, which will take place
I believe
Friday,
in July.
July
Yeah.
18th and 19th
Yeah.
in Layton, PA.
Yes.
So you're going to be there for that, so people can catch you there.
Yes, and I'm really excited about it.
You might see us there.
That'd be great. We can all hang out.
I've been meaning to go to those for years, and I just never quite pulled the trigger. But
I'm really excited to go to my first drive-in theater, and to be with my trauma family whenever I get to have that first experience is going to be super powerful. So I'm really super pumped about it, and I hope to see you guys there.
All right. Well, we thank you for coming on, kind of going over your career so far. We just really look forward to, whatever else you bring to Hollywood.
Thank you. Hollywood's calling.
no, she's too awesome. Stay in the, just be the biggest thing in indie. we don't
Honestly,
need Hollywood
like,
tainting you.
If the opportunity comes, like, would I do a Hollywood movie? Absolutely. Like, give me that money. I'd love to be, comfortable and not have to struggle. But also, even if I did like Linnea, you know, she did some Hollywood stuff, but then she also always stayed true to her indie roots. And that's something that I would always do. I would always take on projects that tickle my fancy. And most of those are, you know, going to be the indie type films. So like, I would do it all. Like it says, JessaDoesItAll.com. I will do it all. And I will be in a Hollywood film. And I hope to be a regular on a TV show at some point as well. And I think it's all going to happen. And it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, you're manifesting it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I think that's what we were getting at earlier. Like you're kind of like this generation's like Linnea.
Well, I have heard that from many people, and every time I hear it, it really gives me a boost in my confidence, and I really appreciate you saying that. And I just recently met her at Cinema Wasteland, and she was a doll. I'd seen her before at other conventions, just walking around doing her Linnea Quigley thing, but like actually getting to meet her was a fantastic experience, and I was a bit starstruck, to be honest. And she's beautiful. She's a stunning woman.
She looks great.
She's so tiny yet
Yes.
so
She's so
intimidating.
Yes.
Like her energy is intimidating.
Her energy is humongous. Like
Yes.
and all packed in this tiny little cute package.
Return of the Living Dead is my favorite horror movie, all time. And 8 years old, I saw the movie. She was the first boobs I ever saw.
That's hot.
So I told her the story, and she was like, "Wow, I don't know what to say." And I was just like, you know what? And we've met so many times and we've talked, and she's a great individual, and she loves her fans, and you know that's what the horror community is about. So
Absolutely.
well, thank you for your time.
And
Thank you.
I'm going to start harassing you on X, and we're going to talk some shit about Laura Palmer.
I can't wait. I'm gonna be living for it.
Thank you again.
Best of luck of filming in
Yes.
Florida.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
All right, yeah. You guys have a good night.
Thank
too.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Broadcast completed. You've been listening to What an Excellent Day for a Podcast. Be sure to come on down to excellentdayforapodcast.com, where you'll find our entire catalog. And for your convenience, every episode contains a link where you can text the nerds. Want to throw some praise? Some critique? Perhaps you have a suggestion for a topic you'd like to see us tackle. But while you think about that, you could also check out the connections to all of our socials, including our YouTube channel. Give all them a visit. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with everybody you know. And for those feeling a little extra generous, there's also a button where you can support the show in other ways. Every bit of support helps. Well, that's it for this episode, and remember, stay creepy and keep talking some damn horror.